Okay, this is Josh Edwards for Comp 450. This is my business proposal. I'm going to be basically trying to persuade the Minneapolis City Council on um, providing the last bit of funds to get the new Minnesota Vikings football stadium built. So my proposal is going to be centered around that. Um, and again, this is Comp 450. Here we go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the Minneapolis City Council and other government officials for joining me today in discussion of the Minnesota Vikings football stadium build. Um, Let me start by saying that I'm going to be representing the Vikings organization, and our main topic is the $150 million needed to help facilitate this new football stadium build. Um, as I said, um, generally the Minnesota Vikings need $150 million on top of the 440 that the Vikings themselves are going to provide, and the 320 to 330 that the state of Minnesota is going to provide for this new stadium build. Um, Now, in terms of physical location, it's going to be located where the Metrodome is right now. We're going to tear down the Metrodome and we're going to build a new facility. The new facility is going to have 73,000 seats total, which is approximately 18,000 more than what the Metrodome currently has at its location. On top of that, the new stadium that we want to build is going to have a retractable roof. And the good thing about that is it's not going to be a similar roof to the roof that we had on the Metrodome. It's not going to have a possibility of imploding or collapsing like the Metrodome roof did. And we know how bad that was, and how that was an extra $18 million to fix, and all of that. Um, you know, on top of that, you're going to see an economic growth in terms of local businesses. You're going to see 8,000 new construction jobs made to get this build started. And then you're going to have an additional 5,000 additional jobs made to help with the construction and just general things related to the build. Now, on top of that, what we're looking at is we're actually looking at a similar floor plan to Lucas Oil Field, which is the home of the Indianapolis Colts. That stadium has a retractable roof, which is similar to the roof that we want, and on top of just the actual physical look and sustainability of the building. Now, over the lifespan of the building, the Minnesota Vikings as an organization are going to provide over 50% of the cost in terms of getting the building built and maintenance for it. On top of that, according to my estimates, we're going to have $145 million of annual revenue that is going to flow through the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis when Vikings games go on, when graduations go on, when hopefully we get some Final Four bids for the NCAA tournament that'll increase city and state revenue, along with the state fair we always have and other venues that we want to host in this new stadium. On top of that, we're going to have no new taxes. There's going to be no new taxes. There's going to be no tax money taken from the general state fund at all. So it's just the city is going to provide the funds, the state is going to provide some of the funds, and the Minnesota Vikings are going to provide the funds. There's going to be no financial hit to the taxpayers. And also, we want to try and have this building, once it's built, used 355 days out of the year, so we can get pretty much the max revenue out of it. As I said, for graduations, MLS events, football games, so on and so forth. Um, you know, and let me just kind of finish this off by saying, look at the growth that we've seen as a state and as a city, and just the general morale boost that has come into play um, since Target Field, the new home of the Minnesota Twins, has come into play. I've been to a few games and I've just enjoyed myself entirely, and I've noticed an uptick in the morale of the city and the state, and I've definitely noticed a heavier buzz in terms of financial uptick in um, in terms of what we hoped that Target Field would give us. So as I said, let me just wrap it up by saying um, there's going to be no new tax increases or nothing taken from the general state tax fund to get this football stadium built. Over 50% of the build and the maintenance over the next 30 years for the stadium are going to be coming from the Minnesota Vikings, and that approximately 440 million of the overall funds will come from the Vikings. 328 will come from the state, um, and then generally that 150 million that the city provides will be used to finish the build off. And as I said, the uptick in business from the local eateries and so forth. The multiple venues you can have at the stadium, along with the retractable roof that's going to be there, and that we want to have this done so we can have a total of 13,000 new jobs created, and just an overall economic prosperity, along with an uptick in morale in the city and state. For having one of the best stadiums in the U.S. So thank you very much, and thank you for listening. Have a good day.